I knew I was going to be here today. I texted Brian earlier in the weekend and just said I had a rough weekend. I'll send you the details about a rough weekend, but I said, I don't know if I can get out here and do this. And Brian hit me home with a text and said, Satan doesn't want you to be out there. He wants you not to talk to these guys, not to share your story. And basically gave me courage to finish up and present what I want to talk to you guys about. Me standing up here is way out of my comfort zone. I can sit up here and bust jokes all day long, but talking about Jesus Christ is not my thing. I'm not going to lie to you. It's hard for me. But I want to share you guys a story with me because a lot of you guys might look at me as average Joe. I own my own business, have 4 kids. I consider myself a normal guy, but last year's been tough for me. But seriously though, I know a lot of these guys out here. I've known a lot of these guys for 5+ years. Actually, I know some of these guys, but I can make a 3-pointer. Brian had hair. Wait, that never happened. But I'm here to tell you a little bit about my story and my relationship with Jesus Christ. So I can't say I always had with a straight face and I've always had a solid one. I lied to you if I said I did. I smile every time John calls me a character because since my childhood I've been a character, been a good character, but nonetheless a character. I grew up in a great home, had everything you could ask for. I had loving parents, siblings, friends. Anything a kid could ask for, I had it. They were always on my side. I went to church every Sunday, Bible school, even lived with a minister for a year while my parents built a house in Annapolis. Talk about walking a straight line, living with a minister. That doesn't get you going in the right direction, nothing will, but he's still a great friend to this day and somebody I respect more than probably anybody in this world. Then came high school for me. I remained involved with my local church. Loved it. Loved being surrounded by good people, good influences, and always trying to make the right choice. Then came college. Man, college. When I tell you that every member of Clemson student body knew my name or face, it's probably not an exaggeration. I made sure I had every tech party, toga party, pajama party. If it had the party in it, I was there. No joke. I partied like no one could party before. And I lost my way. And why did I tell you this? Because I lost my focus in God. I lost what his plan was for me. That's a true story. Did I think about the time? Absolutely not. I knew God was there, but I figured I'm going to do my thing, not worry about it. My 6 years at school, I did get 2 degrees, I'm not that dumb. I asked God for one thing, and that was to get me into grad school. At the time I met my wife of now 17 years, and I wanted to stick around and see if things were going to work out because I had a big crush on her, and luckily it did. So I don't know if God looked out for me that day, but he granted my wish. I went and applied to Clemson for grad school, got in there, stayed another 2 years, ended up getting engaged to my wife, got married, moved on, had 4 kids, grounded myself, kids will do that to you. Wanted to be a good father, wanted to be a good husband, and I felt like I wanted to provide a foundation for my kids through church, because I thought that was important. But I never really felt a deep connection myself with Jesus Christ after losing my way in college. So as a result, I found myself filling myself void with activities. Always make sure my kids are doing the right things, but I necessarily wasn't. So whether that was drinking, smoking a joint here or there with a friend, after a round of golf or something, or being absent at home when I deemed something more important, whether that was going out to, a bar or going out to play darts, or just something that, I felt like, wasn't as important as it being at home, but was a bad decision. So my downfall, besides not having an active relationship with Jesus Christ, was my belief that I could overcome anything. Nothing was bigger than me. Boy, I was wrong, but I truly tell you, I believed it. I believed it. So fast forward to last summer. Some of you guys in here may know my oldest son battled lymphoma. Through God's grace, he's now in remission. To say things are stressful in my house is an understatement. It's tough. Possibility of losing one of your children is a thought that no one wants to bear. And all this, I came back to the void I had. Yes, I had my parents, I had my wife, I had my kids, but I had no relationship with Jesus Christ that was solid, that was a foundation. To deal with my stress, I started doing dumb things. Started taking my son's Percocets. I'd pop a couple here, sit back, watch the Cowboys game on a Sunday. To me, that was like just popping a couple beers. got a little buzz, watch TV, no harm, no foul, right? So I do that, and that try to get me mind off the realities of life. My son having lymphoma, my wife being stressed out, money issues, $20,000 I spent on medical bills, all those things. Did I know I was wrong? Of course I did. But unfortunately, I always had the devil sitting on my shoulder saying, "You're fine, Chris. Remember, nothing is bigger than you." I kept telling myself that. I looked at my other shoulder and nothing was there. Nothing. I had abandoned my faith, and soon enough, I would feel the pain of doing so. So, one pill turned into 2 pills, which eventually became a daily habit as I found a way to get pills on a daily basis. I had a successful business. I had money. I had the means. Once you're an addict, you find ways to get what you want. You find ways to get drugs. I got to the point that my only focus was getting to work so I could get high. I maintained my business, did abandon my family, but I rationalized everything was fine because, I was still functioning. Drugs were impacting my life. And once again, that's what I thought. Drugs weren't impacting my life, but once again, I was wrong. So, remember my point about believing nothing could be bigger than me? Well, my habit got so bad, I got to the point where I was snorting 8 to 10 pills a day. Me, snorting 8 to 10 pills a day. If anyone here knows about addiction, you learn one thing quick. 1 pill is too many, and 1,000 is never enough. That's a true story. I woke up with shivers during the night, cold sweats, vomiting. If I didn't snort something by 6 a.m. in the morning before I got my kids on the bus, I was in complete misery. It wasn't pretty. I finally found something bigger than me. Something consumed me every day. I found my own private hell. When I tell you it was hell, it was truly hell. So I went to bed one night in early November and had a dream, which is rare because I rarely slept well. I was pretty much high 24/7, so even when I slept, I kind of felt like I was awake. It's a weird feeling to describe, but I rarely had dreams. But it was a scary dream I had one night, and it foreshadowed where I thought I was heading. So I had a dream, I had a needle in my arm, and that was my step of trying to get higher next, because you just keep pushing it until you got to have more and more because your body just always wants more. So that didn't scare me, nothing was going to. So I like to think Jesus broke through that darkness inside me and showed me the light that night. I truly believe that. So the next day I knew I had to make a change, and that change had to start with finding my faith again. I had to dig down deep. I had to admit to myself that I was powerless and that my life had become unmanageable. That notion I had about nothing being bigger than me was going to be squashed. Ironically enough, I knew I had to believe that a power greater than myself could restore me to my sanity. And that power was going to be Jesus Christ. I was ready to turn over my will and life to Him and humbly ask Him to remove my shortcomings. Having a spiritual awakening was just the start. So on November 16th, God willing, with help and support of my wife, I checked myself into the Pullman Institute in Richmond, Virginia. There I went through detox, came out clean, and clean's just a start. Clean's the beginning, it's not an end. I thought going in, I'd be coming out clean, and hey, my problems are over. Nothing can be farther from the truth. For the rest of my life, every day, every minute, I'm always going to be an addict. I'm always going to face addiction. It's always something that's going to look me straight in the eye. It's always going to be a challenge that I got to overcome. It'll never go away. It's something I must deal with every day, which makes having a relationship with Jesus Christ even more important for me. I can't conquer this by myself, and that's something I learned quickly. So in conclusion, probably ask why I'm up here sharing a story. Everybody has their problems. Some of you guys might have had addictions to drugs, might have problems with, spouses, whatever it may be. But the reason I want to share my story with you is simple, is I want you guys not to make the mistakes I made. And not taking drugs, that's definitely a mistake. But although I do discourage that, my mistake was not having a solid foundation and relationship with Jesus Christ. Every person every person in this room will face adversity at some point in their lifetime. I can promise you that. It's inevitable. I look back to when you're 10, 12, you thought everything was rosy. All you wanted to do was pick up a basketball, and that's all you had to worry about, coming home, making sure you were down home, mom said time for dinner. But the older you get, you start realizing, things happen, whether it's a personal illness, an addiction, or a loss of a loved one. Unfortunately, you're going to have to ask yourself, do you have a solid foundation from which to challenge anything that comes your way? I didn't have that foundation for a long time. It's something I'm working on now. So in closing, I just want to share you with a verse I actually found today from Proverbs, which really hit home with me since I've begun this journey. And trust me, it's going to be a journey. But the verse goes like this: trust God from the bottom of your heart. Don't try to figure out everything on your own. Listen for God's voice in everything you do, everywhere you go. He's the one who will keep you on track. Don't assume that you know it all. Definitely made that wrong choice. Run to God. Run from evil. Your body will glow with health, and your very bones will vibrate with life. So that's basically, I just want to appreciate you guys giving me a chance to share. I'm an open book. If anybody ever feels they need to talk, just come up to me. I'm as easy as they go, and I just want to share my story so hopefully you guys can, get a foundation with Jesus Christ and make good choices in life. That's all I got for you.
Wow. Dude, that was awesome. That was off the hook.